Hello everyone! This is a detailed course on the Procreate Pocket program. We will cover all the program features from A to Z. We'll explore the interface, multi-tap gestures, settings, and much more. This is an in-depth theoretical course, a foundation for starting to work with the program. We'll delve into practical lessons and, as a result, create simple and complex artworks to reinforce the theory. For the demonstration, I'll be using my iPhone 11 and the stylus I purchased online. This stylus is suitable for use with the iPhone. Pocket is very similar to Procreate, so those familiar with Procreate will find it easy to work with. And for those who are just starting, I'm sure you'll pick it up very quickly. To install Pocket, you need to go to the App Store, search for Procreate Pocket, and you will see the app icon. You'll need to pay a one-time fee of $5 and then you can use the app for a lifetime. Let's get started. Open the program. We've entered the Pocket interface, and immediately we're in the gallery of drawings. For example, Pocket offers several works. You can study them in detail. We can also create our own illustrations. Now let's go through the menu. We have buttons like Select, Import, Photo, and Plus, which we use to create a new canvas. To select and view multiple works, we click on Select. Circles appear and we choose several works. As you can see, we have a third folder with several illustrations. This is Stack, and we'll look at it now too. And what can we do here? We can delete these canvases, stack them, share, duplicate, and view. Let's click on View. Now we can scroll through our works. All the works we selected are immediately opened. By clicking on the photo, we see arrows. By clicking on them, we can scroll right or left. We can click here to close the preview. We've entered the folder again, and to go back, you need to click on the arrow in the top left corner. The program also allows us to duplicate canvases, even those that are in a folder. Let's check it out. Excellent! But we don't need it now, so let's delete the extra illustrations. How do we delete a canvas? First, we can swipe left and a menu will pop up, where we can choose the desired action. Second, we press Select and see the Delete function. But I'd like to warn you, before deleting a canvas, please double-check carefully, because once you delete it, you won't be able to recover it. Let's take a look at the next action. Share. We are offered to choose the image format. Procreate will be the same file with layers, tools, and all the changes you've made before. PSD format is for opening the illustration in Photoshop. where we can also edit it by layers. PDF is useful when we need to compile a document into a folder for a client. JPEG is for saving it in the photoreal or sharing it on social media. PNG is when you need it with a transparent background. TIFF and animated illustrations, for now we won't dwell on them. To close, we tap on the empty screen space. Let's delete the unnecessary items. Remember, you have to do that very carefully. We can also import files. Open the import folder and enter our iPhone's memory. Here we can select any file. Click on it and it will be uploaded onto a new canvas. I've uploaded this file in Procreate format and it loaded as expected. I open the layers and I see the saved layers. Then I can further edit and refine objects in this illustration. We exit to the gallery and continue our exploration of the interface. We can also create an illustration based on a photograph. Press the Photo button and we enter the iPhone gallery. For example, we can select this beautiful picture. The image is imported onto a separate layer, just like before. We can shrink it, enlarge it, or stretch it. Now let's return to the gallery. Let's discuss creating our folders. Let's create a folder from these two canvases. Press on a canvas, hold, and drag it onto the top canvas. Wait until you see it highlighted in blue. Then release, and we have created a stack, which is a folder. Illustrations are gathered inside it. To remove a canvas from this folder and to move it back to the gallery, we hold the canvas, you can see that it moves freely, and with a free hand, we tap on the arrow in the top left corner. Now simply release the canvas to a free space. We can also rename canvases or folders. By tapping on the label beneath the canvas, for example, let's write Lesson 1. We exit, and everything is saved. We also have a plus button. Here, we'll create a new canvas. If we tap on it, Pocket offers us standard canvas formats. We can create screen size, square, A4, and other formats. On the right side, the canvas dimensions are specified in pixels, centimeters, millimeters, and inches. The letters on the side indicate color profile. We have a Create Your Own Size button. It opens canvas creation formats. We also have the width and height of the canvas. Tapping on these values brings up a keyboard with formats in millimeters, centimeters, inches, and pixels. You can create in any format. I'm creating in centimeters. I'll have a 21 by 21 centimeter sheet. Let's leave DPI at 300. It's preferable to set DPI on 150 or higher. 300 DPI is the optimal value, the number of dots per inch. The closer you zoom in your image, the clearer it will be. The program also suggests selecting the maximum number of layers. In my case, it's 83. The number of layers will decrease if I increase the size or DPI. For example, I write 30 by 30. Now there are 38 layers. This also depends on your device and its memory. But for working on a phone, this number of layers is sufficient. Next, we have the color profile. Let's enter it and a window opens. Here we see two tabs, RGB and CMYK. The color profile provides different ways to influence the color of your work. The RGB profile is better suited for viewing the canvas on the screen. It allows you to control the color just like the screen. The profile name corresponds to the main colors it manages. The most optimal profile is already set. The rest depends on which screen you'll be reproducing your work on. Let's enter the CMYK tab. This option is better suited for artistic works intended for printing. It is how most commercial printers process color. Here, as you can see, there are many more options. You can request information from the printing house where you plan to print your work. They will advise you on which of these options suits you best. Let's move on to the next tab, time-lapse settings. This is the process of creating your illustration. Here you can also select the video quality. It offers three options: 1080, 2K and 4K. Also consider the video quality. The higher you set the quality of the time-lapse video, the larger your file size will be. Keep this in mind. I usually choose 1080 pixels and good quality. We also have the HEVC tab. This tab allows you to create advanced motion graphics on a transparent background. We can export this time-lapse on a transparent background, so only the image itself is visible. But keep in mind that to export such footage, you need to apply only the color profile 1966 2.1. Moving on to the next tab, Canvas Properties. We see two fields, Screen Color and Hide Background or Do Not Hide Background. By tapping on the circle, palettes open up. We can choose any color for the background, but I'll leave it as a white background. You can disable the background at any time during the creation of the illustration, so I won't change it. Next, I press the Done button, as we have already done everything. I press the plus button and a vertical canvas opens up. I can rotate it horizontally or vertically, whichever is more convenient for me. Now let's explore the interface of this window. As you can see, it's divided into two parts. The drawing tools are on the right side, and the editing tools are on the left. On the left-hand side, there is the brush size and transparency adjustment. First, let's look at the drawing tools. we have the brush icon. I tap on it, and the library of brushes opens up. The brush library in Pocket is extensive. On the left side are the folder names. You can explore them in detail yourself. I recommend opening each folder, tapping on each brush and testing it out. This way you will choose the most optimal ones for yourself and the ones you like for your work. By tapping on a brush folder, a window pops up. We can rename this set, delete it, share it, or duplicate it. Now, let's select a brush and draw on the canvas. Keep in mind that the pressure you apply affects the brush's transparency. Also, on the left side we can adjust the brush's thickness and transparency with a cursor. Tapping on the brush again brings up a window with brush settings. You can edit brushes yourself and create your own. For example, streamline. If you increase the value, the brush will draw without handshaking. This is especially useful when drawing complex shapes. To draw a straight line, we draw with the brush and hold at the end. Then the line becomes straight and we can adjust it. The function also works if we need to draw a geometric shape. For example, a square, a triangle, or a circle. To draw a perfect circle, we draw, hold the stylus, and the window pops up. By clicking on it, we can give it the desired shape or change the object. Next, I tap on the brush and I can move it to another folder. Or share, duplicate, or delete. In the top corner, we see Create a new folder, Create a new brush, and Import. We click on Create a new folder, and the keyboard pops up, allowing you to write the name of the new folder. To create a new brush, you need to duplicate the one you want to use as a base. The next button is the Smudge tool. This is for blending. With the Smudge tool, we can blend colors using our fingers. By tapping on it, the same brush library opens up. Let's choose a brush and try it out. As you can see, the drawing is smudged. This also depends on the pressure applied with the stylus, the size and the transparency of the brush. Let's try another brush. The effect is completely different. You can create various effects in your work. The next button is the eraser. By tapping on it, the same brush library opens up. We can choose brushes to erase unwanted parts of our work. It erases in the same way the brush would draw, because the eraser uses the properties of the selected brush. It's also adjusted by the pressure of the stylus, transparency, and size. Next is the Layers tab. Layers in this app act like overlays. For example, you draw something and then overlay a transparency sheet on top. We tap on the tab and we see background color and layers. Let's go into background color. This is what we did when creating the canvas. By tapping on it, color palettes open up. Here you can choose any background color. I'll tap on violet color and my background color changes. Now let's go back and leave it as white. We cannot draw on the background, only on the layers. We can also disable the background, make it transparent, or enable the background. This is very convenient for drawing stickers and objects on a transparent background. We also have Create a new layer and Create a new group. Clicking on Create Layer gives us a second layer. We can create as many layers as specified when creating the canvas. The active layer is highlighted in blue. Now I'll take any brush and draw on the canvas. For example, a square. On the second layer, I'll draw the letter A. Now, how does it work? I'll disable the layer and we see only the drawing on one layer. This way, we can toggle layers on and off. For example, walls, curtains, windows, and interior objects. I can move objects in any direction. They are not glued together in any way. That is, these are different layers. This is how layers are created. What can we do with layers? We can merge them, or create a group. That is, I need to group the layers. I select a layer and drag the rest to the right into one group. Then I press Create Group, and our layers are merged into one group. We can lock, duplicate, and delete this group. When we click on Layers, we see a list of what we can do with layers. We can rename, copy, select, fill layer color, alpha channel lock, apply mask, invert, or use as a reference. When you click Merge Down, you will see that two layers have merged. Tap with two fingers, and the layer returns. There is an option to combine down. If we tap it, we see that two of our layers have combined into a group. They are separate, but they are in one group. If I uncheck the box for this group, all layers within it get hidden. However, they are not merged. I can also do the same with my fingers. I take two layers and merge them. If I need to undo it, I tap with two fingers. I'll tap on the group and I can also rename it. For example, Curtain 1. Pillows or curtains can be included in the group as separate layers. We'll work more extensively on this during the lessons. How does the option Invert work? For instance, I draw a blue circle and press Invert. My circle changes to yellow. Why? If we take a look at the color wheel, we'll see that blue is the opposite color of yellow. So we can invert not only from black to white. If I press Select, the editing tool will automatically open in another part of our app. But we won't dwell on this now. We'll come back to it later. To close it, I press the button highlighted in blue. Now we open Layers, and on the right we have the letter N. If we tap on it, a window opens, and here we can adjust the layer's opacity. By sliding the scale, we change the transparency of our drawing. This is a very convenient function, and we'll use it in our lessons. We also have certain overlay modes. By default, we have the normal mode set. Everything above darkens the colors and the work in general, while everything below it brightens it. You can see a wide range of overlay modes. Depending on the task, we can adjust the layers using this function. We'll use it in every lesson and you'll gradually get familiar with it. Now, let's close this function by clicking the N button. We can disable layers. We see a checkbox. Clicking on it hides the layer completely. It's not visible, and we can't draw on it either. It immediately informs us that the layer is hidden. We can choose further actions, such as Open Layers. By clicking on it, we can proceed and independently open the layer. By swiping left on a layer, we can lock, duplicate, or clear it. On a locked layer, we can't draw either. It shows a lock. To unlock it, we need to swipe left again and press Unlock. By clicking Duplicate, the entire image gets duplicated. To check it, we can disable the bottom layer. As you can see, they are identical. Let's delete the second layer now. Again, swipe left and we can clear the layer. Now, let's look at multi-swipe gestures. We can use our fingers to zoom in or out on our canvas. This is convenient for examining the composition of our drawing, expanding it, rotating it as we like, drawing in a comfortable position of the canvas. If we pinch the screen with 2 fingers and then release it, the canvas returns to its original view. We also have gestures. This is undo action and redo action. 2 fingers tap the screen if we want to undo the last action. 3 fingers if we want to redo the last action. You can also place 2 fingers on the screen and hold them. Then, actions will be quickly undone. If you place 3 fingers and hold them, the actions will quickly be redone. Procreate Pocket saves up to 250 of our actions, but actions are only saved until you are working on this canvas. Once you go back to the gallery, you can no longer undo the action you created. Also, we can clear the layer by swiping with 3 fingers on the screen. The layer is completely cleared. Let's go back to the Layers tab. And we see Create a new layer and Create a new group. Click on Create a new layer, and we have added a second layer. Next, let's draw a circle, and with a free hand, press with a finger. And it turned into a perfect one. We also have a window where we can choose the shape, circle or ellipse. Next, we can edit the shape by holding the points. You can experiment. Next, draw a triangle, hold the stylus, and now we have a triangle with straight lines. And a window appears where we can edit our shape. By moving the points, we can change the direction of the lines. Click on a blank area on the screen, and everything is saved. Very convenient, you can quickly draw clear shapes. Go to Layers. Click on Layer 2. We can also draw something here. For example, lines. To create a straight line, we draw with the stylus and hold at the end. That way, we get a perfectly straight line. You can stretch them, but they will still be straight. Go to Layers, select the top one, click and return. Click on the eraser and erase the excess. Again, let's go back to Layers. This way we can create the number of layers specified when creating the canvas. As you remember, it said 83 layers. This is the most basic information you need to know about layers.